Welcome to the Defence Connect podcast, Australia's leading voice in national security and defence industry intelligence, direct from the nation's top policy and business experts.
Well, g'day everybody, Steve Kuper at Defence Connect. I hope you are well. It's been a big week in the world of defence and national security and the world at the moment. We were just talking about the attempted Trump shooting off air and, various theories about that, but that's not what we're
National American pastime,
shooting
the
president. Yeah. It seems like that. But joining me in the studio, we have the one and only computer, Robert Dougherty. How are you, my friend?
I'm here to fact check.
You're here to fact check? Yeah. I don't want to have to remind you every time I ask you to fact check something. You've just got to be like...
I just fact check everything.
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah. Should it just be like a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah. We'll need to work out a code.
We need a buzzer that says wrong.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. If you support that, let us know in the comments whether that is on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you're listening or watching this. And joining us, of course, is the lovely Bethany. How are you, Bethany?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Guys, what's happening?
Big week.
Big week. Yes. Yeah. Well, 2.3 billion in.
It's been a couple of big weeks.
Yeah, it has. It has. Off the back of announcements for new CDF, new Chief of Army, then NDS and IIP, and now this week. Yeah, it's been a big week. 700. We'll start. I know you said, Rob, why don't we go in order of how we've got them down on the page? But you know what? Let's
surprise. We have notes on this show. We just don't ad lib it.
We do
off the cuff.
Yeah,
most of the time.
Well, most of the time, I ad lib a fair bit. Which would probably terrify some people, but $750 million boost for Bushmasters.
Yeah. So this one, will we expecting to see this? Probably.
Yes. Yeah. There was something. I believe there was something touched on in the IIP about it.
Yeah, and there was some early speculation. You remember the week before the NDS came out? A few of the media companies were saying, "Hey, there's going to be more Bushmasters." 200, I think they said at the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were on the right track and had that Canberra tip-off. But, $750 million, build 268 new Bushmasters, protected mobility vehicles, good product, has done really well in Ukraine. They've had a few little errors in Ukraine in that I know the Ukrainians have expressed concern about some of the shrapnel protection, I think, and also the armament. They wanted a bigger gun on top. Usually it has a machine gun or a grenade launcher. And I think the Ukrainians were looking for something a bit bigger.
We did see footage the other day. We saw some photos the other day of a Hawkeye with a M134 minigun on top, didn't we?
We did. Maybe they put a minigun on top of these.
I'll take 10.
Yes, we'll have one each.
One each.
Drive it down the Sydney streets. But I know there was some speculation from the announcement that there would be some sort of direct energy fractal laser that could be mounted on these. So that would be interesting.
That would be scary.
Hopefully that's a win for
anti-drone,
EOS.
counter-drone it would be. Yeah. No, that's AIM.
Oh, right. Yes,
AIM,
of course. Yeah.
EOS has a different laser, Atlas, I think it's called, which is a big unit. That's a shipping container size thing.
Yeah.
You should probably put that on a ship.
Yeah, I mean, Lockheed Martin has Odin, which is their shipborne counter UAS.
Yeah, there's a few getting around. Yeah. Dragonfire in the UK.
That's
the Chinese apparently have got
Dragonfire. That's a really good name.
They're very UK.
How long have counter-drone like tech like this been like a thing?
Lasers?
Yeah.
Probably in the last
5 to 10, maybe.
I would say if you're looking at 10 years, it's very
early
experimental.
Stages,
whereas like in
last
terms
5 years,
maybe.
Adoption, the last 5 years, probably since Ukraine really demonstrated how dangerous small UAS could be.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because you've got a laser on there. If you can burn one of those motors, a little quadcopter, the quadcopter becomes a very non-issue.
Yeah.
Sure. And I know that on a tangent, the US Border Patrol, I'm going to say Southern Border Patrol, has approved the use of lasers on that border.
Oh wow!
In a patrol capacity, in a law enforcement capacity.
That wouldn't surprise me given the cartel
Yeah.
What would
but
they be flying drones over for, though?
Drugs.
could be
With them
drugs, yeah.
on
Yeah,
the drones?
Yeah,
Or even surveillance.
Yeah,
you know,
surveillance
Yeah.
for the coyotes.
just to check where people are and stuff. But,
Sorry, and I should clarify that coyotes are the smugglers, not the dogs.
Not the actual animal.
Not the animal. Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, that's to say that they're approved for around civilian areas, even though I don't know how much civilian area that is. That's a
Yeah.
big. That's a big
yeah,
step.
it kind of ebbs and flows really
Yeah.
on that border.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a loss for Talus and the Bushmaster with the selection of HIMARS as the successful winner for Phase 2 of Land 8113.
I think this was expected. A lot of the industry was saying this was going to happen.
Yeah.
They were going to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a trade-off where they said, "Oh, we're not going to pick Strike Master. Let's put some money towards the Bushmasters to keep everyone happy"?
Yeah, maybe. But to my mind, they serve vastly different roles. HIMARS is that really reach out and touch somebody, whereas Strike Master is, oh crap, they're just coming over the horizon. We need to fire some missiles at them. But
The old Katyusha.
yeah,
Rocket
it was
barrage.
Stalin's organ.
I don't think Talos would like that being likened to that. But
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
you know. They're still in use.
yeah, they're still in use. yeah, it's true.
80-ish years later.
Yeah.
It's and $2.3 billion to expand the Army's long range strike capabilities.
Is that from that, like, was it like 52 billion or whatever it was in the defense strategy? Is that from that, or is this like separate money?
No, that would come out of that. Yeah. Well, because it's HIMARS and it's going to Army. It'll come out of, there'll be a portion, an apportionment within the Army
Yeah.
spending program. And then the actual production of the missiles themselves will come out of the guided weapons and explosive ordnance enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there'll be 2 buckets of money that they're
Pulling
drawing
out of,
from.
yeah.
We know that precision strike missile is pretty good in terms of testing and the upgrades there. I believe they tested it at Woomera. And
No, that was Gimlars.
Was that
wasn't it?
Gimlars?
Yeah, that was Gimlars.
Okay, yeah. But I know that the upgrades are getting quite far out. 1,000 kilometres and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's
Wow.
and I think they have naval tracking as well. For
Yeah,
some of these now.
that's increment 2 or increment 3 for Prism, I think.
Yeah. So you don't just have a coordinate; it can sort of track as it comes in on terminal approach. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more
Anti-ship.
spicy for anybody trying to approach us in the maritime commons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just going back to one of the things I did notice with the Bushmasters, I would quickly go back to the Bushmasters, is that obviously these are being built here. They're being built in Bendigo, which is where Talos got a facility there. But those engines, they run on a Caterpillar engine that I'm going to, if a listener is willing to correct me, it's not built in Australia. It actually comes from overseas.
What's a Caterpillar engine?
It's just the power plant, so the actual
Okay.
engine itself.
Okay.
Caterpillar is a brand.
Okay. Yeah.
So common in agricultural equipment, tractors and stuff. But it's a big engine. But that engine's not built here. I'd love to see, I don't know if we have the industrial capacity.
Yeah.
But if we had some of the capacity to make those engines here, what's that? That's, 268 engines is not an insignificant amount of domestic infrastructure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's
True.
a good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point for anybody who has any line of sight or knowledge into whether or not Australia does have that industrial capacity to be able to pull that off. Please, send us an email at defence@momentummedia.com.au, or you can contact any one of us.
Yeah.
Robert.Dougherty@momentummedia.com.au or Bethany.Alvaro@momentummedia and Stephen.Kuper@momentummedia.com.au. So that'd be interesting to see whether or not we have that capacity.
Yeah. The other part of that is obviously we're building guided weapons, but an engine is pretty sort of standard, as they get those big sort of truck engines and stuff.
Yeah.
I've got to think that there's got to be a manufacturer in Australia somewhere that is able to make those sort of
Yeah.
engines.
Well, if you can
You'd think so.
recondition and rebuild an engine, surely
You can make one.
Make one, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're going to, at what it's
You're never going to run out of truck engines in Australia. Like if you're a company building truck engines,
Yeah.
there's a line there that sort of demand-wise. Yeah.
True.
And that really brings me to our third major story and focus of the week is our new Defence Secretary, Megan Quinn, has been announced by the Prime Minister to take over as the Secretary of Defence from the 18th of May, replacing Greg Moriarty, who is moving on to become Australia's ambassador to the United States. And I should also note that we do have a new US ambassador named, at least in part, Congressman David Bratt, or former Congressman for Virginia, David Bratt, who is an economist and an academic, which is an interesting shift in the focus for the US ambassador here. So that'll be very interesting.
Is that appointed by Trump?
Yes. Yeah. The ambassadors are political
Always,
appointments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this marks the first time that we've had a woman lead the Department of Defence, and Secretary Quinn joins Defence from the Department of Industry, Science and Resources, where she was responsible for the Future Made in Australia and the driving emphasis on
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
resilience and in-country manufacturing. So it's
cool.
Yeah, it's hoped that she will be able to draw on that experience to kind of cut through the bureaucratic Gordian knot that is defence and the Department of Defence. And we do have some more announcements coming in the next couple of months, and that's further ADF announcements and position announcements and the Director of Armaments, which will be interesting to see who nabs that top job. But yeah, what else have we been tracking this week?
Just on Quinn as well, I like that link that the Made in Australia. I mean, if you look at Make in India, that program where they really they were advocating for domestic industry. When they moved that to a defence angle, it was always sort of billed that they would make most of their military stuff in India. If we had something, I mean, it's a different scale, but if we had something similar to that working in Australia, like a Made in Australia defence and then export system, that would be good. Any improvement there is a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. That's the South Korean model is probably the best example of that and their success in terms of building export markets.
Yeah.
As industrial, it's a mechanism for industrialization, which is
they've come a long way in a short period of time.
In a relatively short period of time, and that's coming from a nation that was bombed into oblivion. Not that long ago, a couple of years after the end of the Second World War. So, it can be done. We just have to have the right levers and mechanisms and people there with the commitment to pushing it along.
Otherwise, earlier this week we had a new published paper out of the Australian Army Research Centre. They were saying there's a need for Australia to establish a national cyber reserve force and also to have voluntary cyber organisations. So they were likening this to Ukraine, where you have the IT army of Ukraine, which are basically you have volunteers from industry who work in that cyber environment. Obviously, Ukraine is at war, so they have a lot more, sort of rapidly organised. That it's much more integrated. But outside of the defence force, if you have cyber experts ready to go, makes it a lot easier when you are at war or under cyber threat.
Yeah.
You can just call them straight up. And I imagine for Australia, this is a good option because all of our cities are so spread out. We can't just have one cyber reserve force in Sydney. It would be better to have just different zones. Maybe one.
That's
in
interesting because
city.
I was writing this morning for Cyber Daily about the US Department of War has a new cyber program that they launched like yesterday, I'm pretty sure it was, that is trying to get less degree focused or more accelerated paths to cyber defense in a defensive capacity. So yeah,
I mean, it makes sense. And if you're bringing them in a voluntary organizational structure, what you're doing is allowing for a proliferation of skills that comes down from the top, but also bakes in that hardening and that resilience across the economy, whether that's banking or, average punters who need to improve, step up their cyber security capabilities. It's a bloody good idea.
I think there'll be this is just very my view. I think that there's going to be a lot of cyber focus in the next few years. It's already coming out now, but I think it will be a lot more.
See, I'm of the view that cyber will be kind of like the next nuclear deterrent.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
In terms of shutting down assets and things, or
it will be treated like a nuclear deterrent.
I mean, it has the capacity to do a lot of damage, like cyber threats. So, yeah,
and
that's
it will be largely a posturing thing rather than a direct thing.
What do you mean?
So even if there was a great power conflict, the likelihood of nuclear, the escalation to nuclear strike, is basically the last resort.
Yeah,
because nobody wins. From the cyber aspect, because of how interconnected and dependent on technology we are.
Yeah.
The cyber aspect will be the same thing. It will be the absolute last resort.
That's scary.
Because if, say, you launch a cyber strike on me and take out large portions of my economy, what's to stop me from doing the same to you in retaliation, and then we're both back in the Stone Age?
I could see that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right.
And I think cyber, nuclear, theoretically, nuclear war has that spreading thing where with our missiles in the air, all the missiles are in the air. And I think probably cyber is similar in that you can kind of spread around a bit unintentionally.
Yeah, when the nerds are at the keyboard, everybody's nerds are at the keyboard. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I say that with love. As somebody who has no idea, my idea of cybersecurity is just unplug it from the internet.
I think that is the Stone Age at that point.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Zoolander where he's slapping the computer. But no, that's
in the computer. Yes.
That's kind of how I see it. And
so that's a good point.
It makes sense. I mean, I haven't given that any serious fleshing out of any details, but it kind of that's how I've conceptualized it.
Yeah. I can see that.
And it gives when you've got rogue nations who have particularly potent cyber capabilities like Iran, like North Korea.
Yeah.
And even criminal actors.
It's a big threat.
Yeah. It does level the playing field. And then you have to...
Well, yeah, and like what you just said, like criminals as well, if it was in, a war situation, it could be defense using it and criminals at the same time. So, interesting.
I think, less prosperous nations like, your third world nations and stuff are going to be hit pretty hard by that sort of cyber conflict.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to have the industry or industrial or potentially expertise.
Yeah, the knowledge base, but also at the
equipment.
But also at the same time, you could argue that their periphery location kind of provids them with a degree of protection.
Okay, yeah, because they're not as connected.
Yeah, and they're not main. They're not the main combatants in any potential conflict.
Yeah, true. Interesting though.
Scary stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Well, guys, as always, thank you. It has been a quick one today. A quick game's a good game. For people who want to stay up to date with defense industry and the national security conversation. I've almost forgotten, for people who want to get a real insight into the National Defence Strategy and Integrated Investment Program and what that means for your business as well as for the nation's defence capabilities. It would be remiss of me to not plug the National Defence Outlook budget event that we have coming up in Canberra on Friday, the 15th of May.
Lots to talk about there.
Yes, lots to talk about. We have a really great speaker list. Minister for Defence Industry, Pat Conroy, will be providing an address. We also have the Assistant Secretary or First Assistant Secretary for the National Defence Strategy, so she's responsible for that. And we also have the acting head of Force Design and head of Force Integration, who will be providing an address as well. And then we have a host of other industry experts and budgetary experts who will be breaking down the facts, figures, and what it means for business and industry line by line. So if you want to find out more, head over to defenceconnectbudgetsummit.com.au, or you can contact us at defence@momentummedia.com.au to find out more information.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you there, yeah. And with that in mind, I think that's it.
Yeah.
For people who want to find out more about defence industry, and the national security conversation, head over to defenceconnect.com.au, or you can find us wherever you get your social media, bar TikTok. Until next time, bye-bye.